So we're fortunate to have with us tonight so many leaders who've really been instrumental in shaping our communications history and getting us to where we are today. But as we raise our sights and look to the future and look to a new horizon, a new generation of savvy leaders are coming forward on the horizon, already stepping up and having a huge impact in service to our cause. We're especially honored to honor one of them tonight as we work on connecting broadband and as it moves from the federal level to the state level. The Pew Charitable Trust's Broadband Access Initiative has now emerged as one of the central catalysts for accelerating promising state efforts. Pew has been partnering with state governments for years to implement evidence-based solutions, but now is taking it to a whole new level to deliver even more transformational broadband progress, thanks to the foresight and leadership of Kathryn de Wit. Kathryn leads a cross-functional team. Kathryn leads a cross-functional team of communications experts and government affairs professionals who identify and bridge research gaps and build models key to solving digital divide. Her bold broadband vision means more states will be better prepared to seize this moment, to ensure everyone has access to affordable, robust broadband. Now, Kathryn has been at Pew since 2018, but her expertise goes way back to the American Recovery Investment Act broadband program, where she helped draw out that vital link that we all now understand between broadband build-out and its impact in the way we work, the way we learn, and the way we grow local economies. She was a key player in President Biden's transition, and anyone who has had the pleasure of working with Kathryn understands that she's not just a smart and perceptive leader for today, but she'll be one of the greats for tomorrow. Please join me in applauding Kathryn de Wit as we give her Benton Institute's Emerging Leader Award. Come on up here, Kathryn.
Thanks, Gigi. Did you hear me wolf whistle for you earlier? I violated the one rule of, pack the tissue. First and foremost, thank you so much, Jim, for your kind words to all of you. But I would like to start off with a thank you to Adrienne and the rest of the team at Benton and the board for this award and being recognized in this way. It is an honor that is difficult to describe, and I'm very touched for the recognition, so thank you. But before I jump into my remarks, and I'm sorry, there is a laundry list of humans that I will be thanking through that, so settle in. Won't be that long, I promise. I would also like to take a minute to say thank you to Adrienne and her team, not just for pulling together this lovely event so we all get to see each other in person, but to celebrate this milestone that they have achieved. Our work as a field would be infinitely harder if we didn't have your support publishing content, elevating new voices, and organizing advocates. So if all of you could please join me for just a moment in recognizing the Benton team. Thank you. So as you all know, this evening has focused quite a bit on family, and whether we're talking about the Bentons, the Clyburns, the Corbetts, this got me thinking about my own family, which is a very close unit. And just to give y'all a little context, you want us on your trivia team. We are always the first family out on the dance floor at weddings, and we are very competitive. So do with that information what you will. I'm one of 3 girls, and I'm fortunate enough to have one of my sisters live in the district. She's here this evening, and as is my husband, Dan. And when all of you ask if I'm sleeping or eating or getting fresh air, it's because of those 2 humans who are sitting right there. So thank you. But my parents weren't able to join us today, but they are simply two of the kindest and hardest working people that I know. My work ethic, my drive, my focus on doing things like just a little bit better, it comes directly from them. And they worked really hard to give my sisters and I a good and stable life that set us on a path to success. Those sacrifices and the ones that they made, the careers that they built, afforded us the privilege of making professional choices that were largely driven by interest or by purpose. In return, the expectation was that we would be generally competent humans, self-sufficient, and contribute to society in some way. I'm not entirely sure that my parents really envisioned my sisters and I ending up where all of us are now. But what that expectation did mean was that none of us got arrested. We all know how to drive stick, and we excelled in school. So it turned out okay. But on top of that expectation of really just not getting arrested, they did raise us with a core set of values. I'll skip over the rule of there is no crying in baseball. We can talk about that at happy hour. But the first is that we need to find solutions to the problems that matter. The second is no matter where you go, make room for other people at the table. Those problems and those tables don't always need to be big. Sometimes it's letting the new kids sit with you at lunch or making sure that everybody has a Valentine in their box. Sometimes it's being part of the group of advocates that secured the largest single federal investment in broadband and digital equity. So yeah, no, I think we should all clap for that. But the point is that whether we are talking about solving problems that matter or making space for others to join in that solution, the point is that neither of those things are sufficient without the other. And I think that's why I enjoy working in this field and with all of you. Broadband and digital equity, this is hard. It takes thought, it takes precision, and it takes fortitude, as many people have discussed tonight on the decades that y'all have spent working on this issue. But it is the thing that matters. And because it is so hard and because it is so complex, it also requires a genuine desire to solve the problem, not to mention a healthy dose of humility, to be willing to make space for other people at the table to join the conversation and be a part of the solution, especially now. And that's how all of you have operated since day one. And that is why I am so deeply honored to be part of this community and recognized in this way. So thank you. As I mentioned at the top, we're getting to the thank yous. I owe many people in this room a debt of gratitude, starting with my family. Dan and Megan, thank you so much for being my emotional and physical support system, my advocates and my coaches. I love you both. Thank you. So when it comes to solving the problems that matter to my team, none of this would be possible without you. So I think it's just really important to say that I'm prouder than I can say of what y'all have accomplished, and I'm so excited to see where this work goes moving forward. So thank you for being willing or just unwilling participants in coming along on that journey. To Kathryn Bates from NTIA and Kilha, my boss from the Pew Charitable Trusts, thank you both for the faith that you have placed in me over the years to work on the solutions that matter, and for both of you to always remind me to make it count. When it comes to making room at the table, few people embody that more than people like Adrienne Furness and Shirley Bloomfield. Your endorsement of my team's work and championship of me is something that I will always be appreciative of, so thank you. To the teams at Next Century Cities and Shelby and NDIA and others, thank you so much for being our constant partners at Pew, both in policy adventures and in debates. To the group of mentors and coaches that I met through the campaign and the transition team, Ralph Everett, Anna Gomez, Jim Kohlenberger, Maura Corbett, Gigi. Your patient coaching and constant mentorship has meant more than I can say. Thank you so much, not just for taking a chance on this fresh kid who didn't know anything about any of the political side of this. Thank you not just for taking that chance on me, but for making me laugh, no matter the time of day, the situation, or the number of doc review that we were on. You are also stuck as my mentors forever, so I hope that's okay. When I was staffed on my first broadband project many years ago, I was told that my first order of business was to sign up for the Benton daily newsletter. I'm not joking, it was part of our onboarding checklist. That newsletter helped familiarize me with the people, organizations, many of whom are in this room right now, actually, and concepts that help shape this field. Research from people like Denise Lynn Riedel and Andy Schwartzman provided the foundation that built my understanding of what broadband means and why equal access to and use of an open internet is foundational to a functioning democracy, let alone healthy communities. Commissioner Clyburn isn't here right now, but she says it best, that broadband isn't the great equalizer, it is the great enabler. And when I started my job at Pew 4 years ago, the idea of a major infrastructure bill, let alone funds for 2 in the same year, especially for states, was laughable. You add fiber and digital equity on top of that, no way. But hey, here we are, and we're all working on these solutions that matter to everyday Americans all across the country. So I hope that somewhere another young policy researcher just signed up for Kevin's newsletter and is learning from the work of my team and everybody else who is in this room right now and getting ready to solve the biggest problem that matters. And I can't wait to work with all of you and them because there is plenty of space at the table. Thank you again.